Hey, welcome back. All right, so this is yet another cipher of untilit.works. All right, so how it goes is that this is the first break session, and these are normally like the orientation to welcome everyone to the beginning of a cipher. And normally there's two ciphers on this day, whatever day it is for you. For me, it's Sunday, but whatever the time works out for you to be. And so we have two of them. Each cipher consists of work sessions and break sessions, and they're 3 hours long, completely, totally. So what we do is we have some work session. That's kind of like what you were just doing before, and then 15 minutes after hour, we have a break session that lasts about 15 minutes average. And so it's kind of, the opportunity to give yourself a stretch, what I'm saying? Give your brain some time to kind of like just relax, because you've been doing a bunch of work. And so these are little things, you know what I mean? And so, like I said, this first one, if you're new here, this first break session is kind of like an orientation of what to expect during these sessions. So right now, like if you scroll, or if you look up towards the top, you'll see the menu. So home, shop, subscribe, and log out. Or if you're not logged in, it would say log in. If you see the subscribe, that will actually show you any upcoming ciphers that we have, and you'll be able to subscribe to get notified when we go live. Cool. And it's funny because the new side project that I've been working on is now going to use that, because I thought I could get it done another way, but the browser doesn't have the thing I need implemented yet. Like, there were origin trials where people were trying it out, but it hasn't been implemented into the browser yet. And when it happens, I have no clue. So right now I had to go and figure that out again. So pretty cool. But yeah, so working on that, making some progress. And I thought I ran into like a pretty huge bug, but it looks like the framework I'm using, it's a new framework I wanted to try out, because it seemed cool. I wanted to kind of learn more about it. And luckily, the issue I was running into looks like it was a problem. And so in a new release, they had the thing I need to fix, and it worked. So that's awesome. So the good thing about like the internet, it's always changing and always getting better. All right, cool. So yeah, so right now you are in the break session, and when you hear my voice and see my face, break. And yeah, so we have the video player. Below that is like a warning that just in case if you kind of come in on the site during a break session, that if you don't interact with the site previously, audio and video won't play, and won't autoplay is a thing in the browsers. And so yeah, you may have to hit the play button for it to actually catch up with the stream. All right, next to that is the open close caption. Right now, the things I am saying are being passed through the speech recognition API built into the browser. I'm using Chrome, and it is translating my speech to text and then placing it into the box, whatever, the section that opens up when you click the button. Below that, you'll see two buttons. There's the add a clip button, which I just clicked. Now, what that does is that if there's anything that you found interesting within these break sessions, you can actually clip it out. You get up to 5 clips. They're 5 seconds a piece. And then when you're done, you'll be able to hit the create a highlight video button. So what that does is it saves all the clips, all the timestamps. And then on the back end, once I hit stop broadcast, I have a cascade of things that happen. And one of those is to go and get all the clips, put them together, and then let you know that you can check it out. And it's like personalized to you because it'll have your username depending on whether you're signed in with Twitter or GitHub. Cool. I'll show where you can view it and then tweet it out and all that stuff also when we get to the work session. Cool. Then we have the timer, and the timer counts down to when the next session, the work session happens. And then you can join the room to join the chat because we have a chat. So you can go ahead and chat during these breaks, ask questions, stuff like that. And so, cool. All right, now let me show the work session of this whole untilit.works screen share. I'm not going to need any audio. All right, cool. So now this is what close to an approximation of what your work session will look like, because the background changes. It's always like some nature scene kind of thing. I felt that was kind of calming, you know what I mean? And like not distracting. And so that's what I have that there. Then in the upper left hand corner, you'll get a music player. And so if you want to listen to some tunes while you're working on what you're working on, that's an option. And all the tracks are like producers I know, super amazing, talented producers that let me, they submitted tracks so that I could use them for projects like this. So shouts to them. And if you want, you can actually, it's a Bandcamp player. I don't know if you're familiar with Bandcamp, big fan of Bandcamp. But so if you want, you can actually purchase the track on Bandcamp. You can share it. And then also below that, if you like it, you can help by spreading the word by sending out a tweet. And that'll just open up Twitter in a new browser tab or page, and with a pre-populated tweet to kind of help promote the artists. All right, below that, we have the to-do section. And so this is where you put in your tasks that you're trying to get done. And so, so you just enter it in where it says add a task, hit enter or the plus sign. It adds it to the section right there. Then if you want to, you can check them off as you're getting them done as well. And you can edit them as well. You can I think if you just double click it, the task, it'll allow you to edit it. All right, then you can check them off when you're done. If you want to see a list of what you've done, you just click done and it'll show you a list. And when all this is over, you can actually, if you click the Twitter logo button thing, it will open up Twitter again in a new tab or browser, or not browser, but page, and with a pre-populated tweet. And the tweet will be like a list of things that you finished. And so it's kind of like a nice little, oh, I got this thing done, feels good kind of thing. You know what I mean? So like a good way to kind of end off the cipher, like, all right, I got stuff done. And so it's always cool to know that, because sometimes you're like, what happened to the time? Where did I get done? And at least with this, you're like, oh, I got some stuff done. Feel good. All right. Then we have another countdown timer. This one counts down to the next break session is. And again, those are 15 minutes after the hour. Below that, we got some tutorials. So let's say you don't have a thing that you want to work on. We have a set of tutorials that you can check out. Now, let's say, I don't know, maybe you've been hearing about this cool coding thing that everybody's talking about. And you're like, hey, maybe I want to, check that out. Well, I have 2 free resources. There's Free Code Camp and the Odin Project. I personally haven't done them because they weren't a thing when I was coming up. But from what I understand, I've heard they're good. People I trust said it's cool. And so there's that. And I've looked at the curriculum. Seems pretty good. Seems pretty well-rounded. I'll dig it. So I think if you go through it, you'll get a good understanding, a broad understanding of what coding kind of entails. And then from there, you can make an educated decision on whether you want to spend more time and or money on it, and see what you can do with it. Now, there's also, let's say you've been coding and you're looking for something to do new. So I'm a disclosure, I'm a JavaScript developer advocate at Vonage. And I have 3 tutorials that I've helped work on at work. And I think they're pretty cool. And the outcome to me is amazing and it feels good. And we've run tests with folks because when we make changes, we try to make them better. We want to make sure we run it across a wide variety of people. And that's kind of why I have it here as well. And the people are so amazed when the outcome works. You know what I mean? And so, for example, we have, so there's 3 of them there. So you're able to dial a phone number into the browser, and then that will ring an actual phone in the real world. And you're able to have a conversation between the browser and the real world phone. I think that's kind of amazing. And then we have the opposite, where you dial a virtual number on a real world phone, and then your browser will be able to pick it up and you'll have a conversation. And then the third one is between 2 web users having a audio conversation. So that's, you log in and you'll be able to chat. It's Awesome. All right. Below that, we have the HACO. Now, HACO stands for Help a Coder / Creator Out. So now let's say you're working on something and you get stuck, or maybe you want to get feedback. You can create a HACO, and what will happen is that you'll get a unique URL to your room. Then you share that on social media or wherever, or somebody that you want to help you out or something, and then they can request to join the room, and you as the owner can see who's requesting to join the room. And if you want to make sure they are who they say they are, or at least who the name is, you can click the name, and it'll open up their Twitter or GitHub, and you can kind of check out who they are and whether or not you want to let them into your room. Cool. Now, everybody that's in the room, I have like a text chat, and you can also do like audio chat, and then you can also do like speech to text, so you can say stuff, and it will, like, once you turn it on, you can, because you have to turn it on. Everything is like opt-in, basically, besides the chat, because you're opting in by chatting, by sending a text chat. Neither here nor there. So let's say you turn on speech to text. So as you're saying things, it will like put that into text and then send that to the chat. And then I have the opposite, where let's say you don't want to see the chat or whatever, you're doing something else on another tab or whatever, it'll take the text and say that in speech, like computer speech or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll synthesize the speech of the text that was put into there. Kind of cool stuff. And so, yeah, there's that. So I wanted to be able to have people be able to communicate however they want. All right. Cool. Below that, and then you can also view any HACOs that are happening at the time also. Below that, we have the show and tell sign up. Now, let's say you come across something that you find very fascinating and interesting and you want to talk about and share it with people. Then you can sign up for a show and tell. It's like 5-10 minutes, and you'll be able to actually talk about it. And it's like a lightning talk. So I'm a big fan of those. All right. So you can sign up for that. And then below that, that is where you can see your highlight clips being made, not being made, but the status of it. Now, when you submit it, it will say submitted. And then it's going to be working on this thing. And then when it's done, it will say status done and have a view button. And so you can click the button and it'll show you preview. You'll also be able to download the the highlight clip, and you'll also be able to send a tweet. Now, when you send the tweet, again, it opens up Twitter in a new browser, new tab or page or browser page. And it will pre-populate the tweet, and it'll have like a unique URL, and that URL will go to the archive video of the break session. And what's cool is that depending on Twitter, the embed, like, because Twitter will embed links, and so it's a video card, and it will show your video that you created there as the preview, which I think is cool. But sometimes it doesn't work, because I think it depends on if you're on a certain device or whatever. I'm not sure how it works. But to make sure that the video shows, I just been attaching the video to my tweets that I downloaded, and so that way it always shows up. And I also post it to Instagram as well. So kind of post it in both places. And it's kind of a way to let people know the stuff we got going on here. And yeah, that's it. Cool. So I'm going to get y'all back to work. Let me stop sharing my screen here. And I'm going to get y'all back. I'm going to send y'all off with some traveling music. And I wish you much productivity. I'm setting the timer. Remember, 15 minutes after the hour are the break sessions, but there's also the countdown timer, so you can kind of gauge, you know what I mean? So you can get yourself to a good stopping point. And yeah, I think that is going to be everything. So thank you all once again for hanging out. Hope you get whatever it is that you're working on, at least a little bit, you know what I'm saying, more done on it. And yeah, so right now I'm going to play this track from Anthony Cruz, aka A Butta. The track is called Thank You. And yeah, thank you all for hanging out. And yeah, see you soon. 15 minutes after the hour. Much productivity to you. All right. Be easy. Thanks. Here we go. Anthony Cruz. Thank you.
I want to say thank you for holding on when a brother down and out. Now I feel so strong, and I wanna say thank you for being there when the brother had nowhere to turn to. You were there, and I feel like hell. And everybody says hell. We spread love like hell. I wanna say thank you for holding on when a brother was down and out.